Hyliion Stock is now officially a publicly traded company. What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor. I got the hoodie to prove that fact. And today we are speaking about Hyliion, ticker symbol HYLN. Tortoise Acquisition Corp is no more for these guys. So obviously if you're watching this video, you're gonna know we have now gone public. We're now trading under our own ticker symbol. You're also probably here because you're wondering what in the world is going on with this stock. Why are we trading below $40 a share after the merger has happened? I mean, everybody on YouTube's been throwing out these crazy price targets. What is going on? Why are we at $39 a share? That's kind of what I want to speak about today, my friends. There's not the most new news in the world in regards to this company right now. But of course, I want to speak about the price action. I want to speak about what I believe is next for the company. What kind of position do they look like they're in now after this merger has gone through? The cash position, how I think growth will go over the next couple of years, the actual products they offer and how that's going to fit into today's world, and a few other little bits and pieces on this company. To make it clear, I am an investor. I bought in at $20.95 a share, so I bought a considerable period of time ago, and that's something you guys should always keep in mind. You know, we speak about these stocks on YouTube for months and months. I mean, I bought the stock at pretty much $21. Some people have bought in the 40s and 50s. It's different, so just keep that in mind. So guys, right before we get into the video, can I please ask you to hit that juicy like button? It really helps me in the channel out. I would appreciate you so much. If you're new around here, what are you waiting for, my friend? Please hit that juicy red subscribe button. We're on the road to 50,000 subs. Hopefully we'll be able to hit it within a few weeks. And please drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of Hyliion. You know, are you an investor? Are you holding? Are you buying more? Are you in it short or are you in it long? With that being said, my friends, into the video. So guys, as always on the channel, let's start off by having a look at the stock chart. So I mean, we're looking at the 6-month chart just so that we can see everything that's happened here. Okay, and I'm not going to bore you, I'm not going to waste your time, but it's been pretty awesome. Okay, so since, you know, they were a SPAC, we were in the low 10s. Since then, we're up 286%. At our peaks, we were up nearly 450% or so. So it's been a pretty crazy ride. You know, we peaked out around the $55 mark. We're currently all the way down at $39.50. So from those peaks, we are down nearly 30%. And if you will look on the monthly stock chart for me, you will see, okay, we're actually down 22%. I mean, I did speak about this a few times on the channel. I didn't think this run-up was justified, and that is from the perspective of an investor. You know, it's in my best interest for this company to go up in value, but it's somewhat inevitable where when a company shoots up that much value over such a short period of time, there's going to be some sort of a pullback. Especially, guys, there wasn't much news. Let's be honest. There wasn't any major contracts revealed. There was no major income sources revealed. There was no new technology. There really wasn't much news. And I'm not hating. Again, I'm an investor. I want them to do incredibly well. I held at 55 a share. I'm holding at 39 a share. But just because a stock goes up so fast and so aggressively doesn't mean that's going to keep happening. And I mean, my post-merger expectation was always $50 to $70 a share. We got into that range well before the merger happened. We touched off it on 2 more occasions, and then this sell-off happened. So I can't say I'm very surprised, in all honesty. Now, do I think Hyliion is at good value at the moment? From a long-term perspective, I have to say I do. Now, when it was 50 to 55, I was saying I thought it was a little bit overvalued in the short term, and everybody on YouTube had something to say. But here we are. I mean, if you waited it out, if you want to be along in this company and you don't have a position yet, just having a little bit of patience has already saved you 20 to 25+%. So the first thing to do with this company is ask yourself, are you a long-term investor or are you a short-term investor? Because honestly, I think anything is going to happen to this company in the next month or so. I think volatility is going to be insane in this company next week. And I mean, go toss a coin for me. Heads, it's going to go up. Tails, it's going to go down. It depends what the market wants to do. It depends on market sentiment. It depends on what's happening in the broader market as well, in my personal opinion. Now, one thing I have to say is that yesterday, from what I've gathered in my Discord and online, Hyliion wasn't available to trade on Webull or I believe TD. 2 massive platforms that a lot of people use. So maybe there was some people who wanted to buy, but they just literally were not able to. It physically was impossible to do so. And that could have led to a bigger sell-off than what should have potentially happened. But what I will say is I am actually happy to see a 3 at the start of Hyliion's stock price right now, because I do think the valuation is starting to make a little bit more sense. Now, don't get me wrong, I still think it's very, very overvalued, but so is every other EV stock. I mean, look at Workhorse, my biggest position, disgustingly overvalued. Look at Tesla, okay? Immensely overvalued. But remember, guys, just because a company is overvalued doesn't mean that it's not good value. I know that may sound weird, but let me explain. Tesla's been overvalued for years and years and years. You pay premiums for good companies. Just because it's overvalued now doesn't mean it can't be more overvalued in the future. In fact, if you're paying fair value for a company, more than likely it's going to be a safe dividend stock. You're not really going to get growth stocks at fair value very often, unless you are extremely, and I mean extremely, early to the party. So that's where I stand on Hyliion right now. I actually do think it's a decent buying opportunity for long-term investors. Now, that does not mean that I think it can't possibly go any lower, because I most certainly do. But now it's kind of in that mid-range where I think, you know, it's a decent price. It's still a high-risk company in my opinion, absolutely massively. But I would much prefer it at this price than 50 or 55. Now the next thing I want to say is this. Through the business combination, Hyliion will receive approximately $560 million in proceeds to drive Hyliion's continued development and the commercialization of its hybrid and Hypertruck ERX electrified powertrain solutions. So is 560 million even a lot of money? Well, I mean, if we go over to their investor presentation, okay, their revenue is looking to be $1 million 2020 estimate, okay? 8 million 2021 estimate, 344 million 2022 estimate. So yes, for this company in particular, that is a whole lot of money, and I do think it's going to be incredibly substantial and important for their growth going forwards. So I mean guys, we're getting approximately $560 million in proceeds. We have a market cap of 1.15 billion. So yes, in my opinion, this is massive, okay? Now having those proceeds, being able to invest them into the business, being able to, you know, whether it's product development or it's just production, it's going to be extremely important in my opinion. I think that's what we need to focus on now, especially if you are a long-term investor. I mean, who cares about the share price? We have to look at the prospects. We have to look at what the deal actually looks like now that it's closed. We have to look at Hyliion as a company, not just as a high risk, high reward short-term SPAC. So if we're looking at them as a company, we see the cash injection we've just received compared to the revenue we expect over the next 2 years at the very least, we look to be in a good position. Now with that being said, that cash is quite clearly going to have to last them a very considerable period of time. I mean, $1 million in revenue 2020. In the world of business, okay, in the world of publicly traded companies, that may as well be nothing. I mean, literally, if you go look at Facebook's balance sheet or any blue chip stock's balance sheet, you wouldn't notice if there was an extra million there or not. You look at the revenue, who cares if it's 726 or 727 million, you know what I mean? So the fact that for the rest of this year and going into next year, we're playing with 9 million in revenue potentially, it's nothing. It genuinely is, and that's why this has to be looked at as either a long-term investment or a short-term trade. The middle ground, you know, it's going to be a bit shaky in my opinion. But I do genuinely believe if you're willing to hold these guys till anywhere into 2023 plus, we're going to know if we're going to have a very good long-term investment on our hands or not. It'll be very established by then. So I mean, do you think $40 is going to be overvalued if everything goes to plan and we get to 2023 and we're bringing in over $1 billion in revenue a year? We have a lot of new contracts, new customers. No, not at all. It's an EV stock. In general, we're going to be high risk, high reward. The risk is this doesn't come to fruition. The reward is this does come to fruition, or we even beat it, and then the stock price goes up a lot. So that's the first thing I want to point out. That's a lot of money, okay? That's an awful lot of money for Hyliion. And I do think it's going to do incredible things for the company, and it's going to propel them forward extremely quickly, which again means that hopefully the share price will be propelled up extremely quickly. But when I say extremely quickly, I mean over a few years, okay? In the terms of long-term investment, a few years is quick. Now, on Monday, Thomas Healy, you know, absolutely amazing man, lots of respect for him, okay? He's going to be ringing the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange on October 5th, Monday. Now, when I initially saw this news, I thought to myself, that's cool, but does it really mean anything? But I do think it means a lot. He's a 28-year-old, I believe, self-made billionaire. He is in a space that is very hyped up right now, okay? He's in EV and he has a very individual, unique product, and he gets to ring the opening bell. This is going to be fantastic for publicity reasons. Now, to be honest, I think pretty much everybody who's in the market knows about Hyliion at this stage. A lot of the retail investors definitely do from YouTube, and I mean, I believe it's something like 77% owned by institutions, so it's quite clear that quite a lot of the institutions know who these guys are and have done their homework. But from a publicity point of view, I definitely do think it's going to be exciting, and I think Monday could be a good day. Now maybe I'm being optimistic, it's the weekend, we all know what's going on with Trump, anything could happen Monday, but I think Hyliion does deserve a good day at this stage, especially with something like this happening. We will just have to wait and see though. But you know what I want to see from Hyliion now, you know what I really want to see, and maybe I'm a bit weird, but this is something that I love to see in the companies I invest in. If I go to the Hyliion's investors page, okay, and I click on latest news right here, nothing, okay? Now, I understand this because the tickers changed from shll, but this is something I've always been saying about Hyliion for a long time, is they don't release a lot of news. Thomas Healy's already come out and said they're going to be more active on Twitter. That's cool, we're all happy about that. But we all want value. We all want something to look forward to. We want to be kept in the loop as investors. And I genuinely believe that Hyliion probably has a lot of very exciting things going on behind the scenes that we don't know about yet. And I mean, look, the stock isn't doing good. It's not doing good at all. I don't, like, the last month on the monthly chart, we're down 22%, people. It's not doing well. We need some news. I want to see this page just flowing with news that's going to get investors excited, because that is important, people. We need to know what we're investing in. We need to know what not only 3 years down the line looks like, but we need to know what's happening next week and what's happening next month and what happened in the last 2 weeks. We need to know those things. So that's what I really hope to see from this company now. And I've been saying this about Hyliion for a couple of months. I say it about a lot of the SPACs. I said it about lordstown motors as well. When we had 27,000 pre-orders, I actually called the exact number. 40,000 is what I expected it to be, but they didn't release it because they're not public. Hopefully now Hyliion just starts pushing this juicy information to us investors, because I think we need it right now. So that's where I stand on Hyliion right now, okay? Do I still think it's overvalued? Yes, but do I think literally every EV stock out there that's doing in any way decently is overvalued? Yes. If you have no position in Hyliion and you want one, what I will say is I do still see downside. I see a considerable amount of downside, but I do also see a potential lift off, as you would, happening quite soon. I mean, again, I know I'm not the chart guy, but here we had this period of consolidation, we broke out and we shot up. This here looks to me like just a much bigger range of consolidation, but we could be ready to shoot back up. I mean, a lot of stop losses were triggered here without a doubt in my mind. At $39.50 a share, so many people would have panic sold. So many 10%, 15%, even 20% stop losses would have been triggered. And now a lot of people might want to be getting back in. A lot of people who set those stop losses only set them to protect their gains, to buy back in at cheaper prices. So that's where I stand on the price point, you know. I think it's a much better buy than it has been over the last month, especially since we are now officially merged. There is still significant downside though, so if you're not able for that, you know, it's not for you, I'll put it that way. Again, me personally, I'm in at about $21. It's not the biggest position, but I don't really plan on buying more, you know what I mean? I'll see what happens. For me to buy more, I'm willing to pay high prices. I mean, you've seen that numerous times. I've bought all-time highs everywhere for months and months, and it's worked out well so far. But I need news, you know, I need something solid. I need something to look forward to before I'm willing to put more money into this company. But guys, that is my juicy little Hyliion update. That's what I think of everything that's going on right now, and that's what I think we have to, you know, keep our eyes on over the next week or two. It is nice though going onto my phone and seeing HYLN and not seeing SHLL. And congrats to everybody who has held, especially I know a lot of you guys are like me. We got in somewhere between maybe $18 and $25 a share, so everybody still made some nice money. But if you have watched until the end of the video, you, my friend, are a true legend, and I really do appreciate you being here from the bottom of my heart. If you did enjoy and if I gave you some value and insight, could I please ask you to hit that like button, drop me a comment, and subscribe if you're new around here, because again, all of that helps me out so much. And if you are interested, please hit the first link in my description and sign up to become a patron. You'll get access to 25 plus private channels, including my buy and sell alerts. We have individual chats for Hyliion, Workhorse, everything we speak about on this channel. You get to know if I'm doing any exciting interviews. You get to actually contribute questions towards them, and it just directly supports me. So if that's of interest to you, please hit that link. But anyway guys, I appreciate you so much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. I will see you for another video later on. Peace.